China reels in. The merchant insurgents. Against feudalism.
It's easy to understand why this man was embraced by the world as a symbol of a new era in communist China. Meet Jack Ma, the founder of global internet giant Alibaba, China's very own king of capitalism. Ma rose out of poverty and became the richest person in China. He is the ultimate showman. Known for putting on flamboyant, even bizarre performances for Alibaba employees. Jack Ma became China's first celebrity CEO. He was not only famous inside China,
and I guess you've heard of Jack.
He was embraced by the world's most powerful leaders. Jack Ma seemed more popular and admired than Xi Jinping.
Jack Ma seemed more popular than Xi Jinping? Back in the Mao days, there was a similar hero. Zhuang Zedong of the Pingpong Diplomacy fame. But Zhuang earned his fame by being undefeated. Ping-pong for 6 years, an idolized like. A godlike figure in China and the ping-pong world. What has Jack Ma done? Hitting a jackpot?
People across the country would have photos up of Jack Ma above their beds in ways that historically you would have seen for Mao.
To understand how there could be a cult of Ma in Xi Jinping's China, you need to know one thing.
In the beginning, Xi Jinping very much needed Jack Ma.
China had missed the Industrial Revolution in the 19th century, and America had invented the internet by the end of the 20th century.
China was not even connected to the internet yet. We started.
Ma started internet? I remember clearly that I hooked up the Sprint people with the Shanghai Long-Distance phone company and also transferred $40,000 worth of electronic data interchange material to the deputy chief engineer of Shanghai Telephone to have the telecommunication infrastructure set up in the early 90s. She needs people like Ma. Ha! The whole internet game is a lottery game since birth. Dominated by college dropouts like Gates, Jobs, and Musk. And Jack Ma was just a computer illiterate English translating tour guide. Together this bunch turned internet and the whole computing industry into an entertainment and consumption hub, causing the telecomputing revolution suddenly came to a halt. 30 years ago, what Xi and China needed were the dedicated communists and elite human resources from the developed countries. And many overseas Chinese, guided by the feudal spirit of loyalty to the motherland, came home to build this new China, mostly giving all they got but expecting nothing in return.
2 decades after Deng Xiaoping opened China's doors, Jack Ma had his moment.
China is opening. Open the door.
He founded Alibaba in 1999 as an online marketplace for small Chinese businesses.
All of these individual workers and small businesses around the country could suddenly be connected to the rest of the world.
The company became an internet behemoth that sells everything from cars to high-end fashion and offers food delivery and financial services. It's China's Amazon, Google, eBay, PayPal, and more. By 2014, Jack Ma had arrived on the New York Stock Exchange to ring the bell. It was the world's biggest initial public offering.
It beats out Facebook, it beats out Intel and Amazon, you name it.
It only shows, among the feudal sheeps, a lone capitalistic wolf can eat up the whole place.
It unlocked a huge amount of economic potential.
Tech giants like Alibaba showcase China's rise to the leading edge of economic and technological power. When Xi took control in 2012, many expected him to continue to open China's economy like his predecessors.
There was a belief among all of the leaders in the West that China would continue to integrate towards a private sector-led system.
After decades of growth fueled by China's private sector, Xi had inherited the world's second-largest economy.
Economy was never China's goal.
But China also faces serious challenges: an aging population, crippling debt, and a slowing export machine.
A big concern for the leadership was how to keep the growth going.
So they unleashed the tech sector. At first, the companies seemed like copycats. That changed fast.
No one out there thought that China today would be at parity with the United States in major technologies. They thought these guys would steal stuff, but they couldn't really innovate.
By 2020, China's tech sector had exploded in size and impact. In some areas, China's tech was even outpacing the United States. TikTok had taken the world by storm. China's Didi beat out Uber in China. Jack Ma's digital payment system, Alipay, made cash and credit cards in China obsolete. Ant Group, the parent company of Alipay, had grown into a financial giant.
Jack Ma was on the one hand a great asset to China, but also from the Communist Party's perspective, a huge threat.
It's not the tech sector, but that of the decadent consumption. On the other hand, tech-wise, you ain't see nothing yet. China's supercomputer is not only the mother of weapons, but also all the technologies. And that when the supercomputer was running naked. Wait until a software automation coat is put on, China will leave America in the dust. Jack Ma a threat to China? No way. For the new wave of high-tech to come in, we need first to clean out all the trashy low-tech, with automation technology.
Only days before Ant Group was anticipated to launch on the Shanghai and Hong Kong stock exchanges,
China putting the brakes on the world's biggest IPO.
This is really a stunning turn of events.
suddenly everything came to a screeching halt.
What happened? Based on our reporting, President Xi Jinping himself personally intervened to stop the IPO from going forward.
With global investors still reeling, Jack Ma seemed to suddenly disappear.
There are growing questions about the whereabouts of Chinese billionaire Jack Ma.
Where is Jack Ma?
Ma had given a speech accusing China's regulators of stifling innovation in a room full of government officials only 10 days before Ant's planned IPO.
You can't do that in China.
If Jack Ma believed that he could challenge the Chinese political leadership and ultimately the party itself, well, then the entire edifice of control in China was at risk.
The Communist Party had allowed Ant Group and other private tech companies to grow largely unregulated for a decade. They had created a capitalist free-for-all, a Wild West in which the government had little say.
Companies like Ant are perceived to have amassed huge power. They've got the data, they've got the technology, they've got the capital.
Xi Jinping decided enough and began the crackdown on big tech.
It was this sudden assertion of political power in the face of what had felt like this almost inevitable growth of Chinese commercial and capitalist power.
Xi wants capitalism, but with a state that is in ultimate control.
Don't shed any tear for the ants. An self-regulation credit system based on digital currency will soon do away with money, the cause of evil in the world, of which Jack Ma is one of the victims. She wants capitalism like a hole in the head.
When Jack Ma appeared for the first time in a video since his disappearance, he seemed uncharacteristically subdued. Is this the necessary reining in of an out-of-control system, or is it the end of China's capitalist golden age?
Even if it costs them a huge amount economically, that's a risk that he's willing to take, because from his perspective, the alternative is possibly the collapse of China itself.
Not the China collapse, but the true beginning of China's rise, back to its old feudal glory of the past. It's truly unfortunate for the West that the time to the reeling in of the exploitative, filthy rich and powerful merchants has long expired, with the $10 trillion vaccine industry leading the way in shooting and sucking the mass dry. The West is now at the mercy of the vicious cycle of self-decapitation.